12 noon, citizens communications, so council without objection will table this item until after citizens communications and after executive session. Go now to citizens communication. First speaker is Conrad Gonzalez.
All right, good afternoon. My name is Conrad Gonzalez and I teach physical education at Linder Elementary. Thank you for your time and attention regarding the Onion Creek Floodplain Buyout Program.
Hold on just a second. Could everyone please hold their conversation down until you exit the chamber so that we can hear the speaker? Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. I'll say it again. Thank you for your time and attention regarding the Onion Creek Floodplain Buyout Program and the current high-risk flood danger in which my family lives. In 2003, I purchased a home in the Yerby Bend neighborhood. In 2006, I discovered some disturbing news. My home was going to be bought out and demolished. Our City of Austin Watershed Protection website best explains the historic and present danger. Quote, "The City of Austin is buying out homes in the 25-year floodplain of Onion Creek. These homes are being purchased to reduce the risk to lives from flooding. There was extensive flooding in these neighborhoods in 1998 and 2001, and they all had to be evacuated. Fortunately, no lives were lost. Because of the extensive flood damage and the risk of future flooding, the City of Austin began a program to buy out homes in the floodplain," unquote. Well, progress was made and families were safely relocated. In a 2010 letter, City of Austin Watershed Department Director Victoria J. Lee writes, quote, "The city has partnered with the Army Corps of Engineers to purchase the properties with the highest risk of flooding. As of December 2010, the city has bought 283 properties. There are 200 properties, including mine, remaining to be bought out, contingent on federal funding." Then came more bad news. In a January 7, 2011 letter, Ms. Lee writes, quote, "In February 2010, the President's budget included $10 million targeted for it. However, both the House and Senate Appropriations Committees decided not to fund any New Start projects this fiscal year, which includes this project." I know, it set off bells for me too. "The lack of federal funding to complete the buyout does not remove 200 Austin families from high-risk flood danger. Therefore, I respectfully ask the Austin City Council to sponsor a resolution to direct City Manager Mark Ott to provide an update on the Onion Creek Floodplain Buyout Program and a specific action plan on how to financially complete the buyout independent of federal funding contingencies. If Mr. Ott can report back to the community by September 1st, 2011, I and many Austin families would be grateful. I look forward to collaborating with all of you to help Austin become one neighborhood closer to being the most livable city in America. Thank you."
Thank you. Do we have anybody from Watershed here? I believe that I responded to an email from you recently, and obviously I totally sympathize with the situation out there and want to do everything I can to try to get it back on track. But here's the situation. I've been to Washington 3 times on this issue. I went up twice to speak to the Corps of Engineers. We got their endorsement. They have supported this plan, recommended it be put in the budget. I went up once to talk to the President's Office of Management and Budget. I like to say we convinced them. But anyway, it got put in the President's budget submission. We almost got it through last year, and just in the final stages it got clipped out. And not only that, but the city, this is a cost sharing thing between the federal government and the city. Allocated a certain amount to the city and a certain amount to the federal government to do these buyouts. We have even taken the extra step of saying the city would be glad to go ahead and proceed with the buyout into the, we've exhausted our share. We've spent all the money that we said we were going to spend or allocate, allotted to spend. We would be willing to spend even more to proceed with the buyout and just ask the federal government to assure us in law or in the budget that they would pay us back sometime as we paid part of their share. That, of course, didn't make it into the budget either. I would be remiss if I didn't mention that not only did we have the support of the Corps of Engineers and the Office of Management and Budget, we visited with every one of our delegation, including our two senators, and every one of them has been strongly supportive. Special mention to Congressman Doggett, because it's in his district and he has paid a lot of attention to this particular item. So we continue to work on it. I totally sympathize with your plight. We will continue to work with the federal government to get this program back on track. Would you like to say a couple of words, ma'am?
Yes, Mayor and Council, I'm Roxanne Cook and I'm with the Watershed Protection Department and I'm the sponsor for this project, and I can attest to the mayor and our elected officials have been working very hard to get federal funding. We are still proceeding very slowly, as the mayor said, with our buyouts. We plan to buy out about 10 properties this year and 10 properties next year. We are in the process of still trying to get federal funding, but we're not giving up on the project. However, since we've reached our share and we're pretty close to exhausting our funding, it would take about another $35 to $40 million to finish the 200 buyouts, and we do not have that kind of money in our budget. In our next 5-year CIP plan, we have a total of about $15 million that we can put forward. So obviously we can't finish it in the next 4 to 5 years without any kind of federal funding or other source of funding.
As I recall, it's about total is somewhere north of $70 million.
For the complete project, which includes the ecosystem restoration and the park construction, that's correct. And it's a 35-65% split between the city and the federal government.
And we will continue to press that case. We're on your side on this. I think it's very important. This is one of those situations where authorization to build these homes in the floodplain was done before the property was annexed, and so we're kind of saddled with the problem. So.
We're sorry, the number you have dialed is not in service at this time.